Good evening, this is Kuro. Got a tier 7 game in my Akatsuki. Going over the matchmaking, we have an enemy ranger, we got no radar cruisers, lots of DDs, Mayhan, double Akatsuki, Mutsuki, and Ohatnik, with the last two being detection threats to me. We spawn on the west side of the map, north spawn, and basically my intent for this, it's a standard battle, so instead of having a cap for me to deal with, what I tend to do on this map is try to make a play for the flank. If I spawn as one of these destroyers, I try to scout and seal off, these kinds of areas. If I spawn out on the edges of the map, I try to secure a flank, and that's pretty much what I'm going to try to do. Um, I looking around right now, what I'm doing, I'm seeing how ships are fitted out. You can kind of get it somewhat of an idea how skilled players are. This guy concerns me because uh, he's violated the cardinal sin. His destroyer does not have camouflage, and that makes me question his competence, frankly. Um, I know camo costs money. There's people that aren't on um, premium accounts or anything like that. They're hurting for money. Um, you can get the concealment camos cheap, and it does make a difference in your game. There was just a video I was reading, or a thread this morning that I was reading on the websites talking about camo, and you know, if you're up against an equal skilled opponent, you're just at a flat disadvantage. There's no other way to put it other than that. So I'm not gonna harp on it. That's just reality. Um, Pushing up here, I get detected, and that's telling me one of the stealthy DDs are in front of me. It's the Mutsuki. Um, so I'm just gonna abuse her, basically. I mean, she's starting to smoke up. Um, Mayhan probably didn't even have his guns turned this way. I don't see any other shots coming in on her right now. What I'm looking to do, I'm going to drop some torps here, make sure that she can't just hide and smoke. And then my intent was that I was going to push up here because I'm expecting this Mutsuki to actually hide in the smoke. I was intending to proxy spot him. And instead what ends up happening, this Mutsuki is able to make the turn and it comes out. And rather than panic and turn out, I know this guy has not torped. I know he has torpedoes available. I stop, I stay angled to him. My guns, he's shooting AP at me, but regardless, I have more DPM off my front guns than this DD does uh, with both of its guns. And my intent is doing what I'm doing right here. I'm trying to get torpedoes safe, and in the meantime, just sink this guy. I mean, my destroyer has so much more HP. For whatever reason, that guy persisted in trying to shoot AP at me, and he was just an easy free kill. But that's kind of a general description of how some of these destroyer fights work out. It really can be a thinking game. If I would have tried to panic and turn out, it would have locked me into a position where he could launch torps at me and then a reactive spread to cut off any sort of escape that I had, and he would have been able to kill me, and that would have just been unacceptable. I did pause up here at the island, and why I stopped briefly was I was waiting for my detection to drop back down. I didn't want to, give these guys any opportunity or indication of what I was doing. Um, this Caesar, he's just running, so I'm just launching some Make-A-Wish torpedoes. I don't expect any other destroyers to be in the area, so I am just going to start pushing around, and I'm going to start sealing off this area and threatening the cap, because I just, with these battleships already running, I'm not anticipating any other pushes on this end of the map. Not with me being there and with them not having any sort of scouting from the destroyers. I mean, you can look at it, they've got no Hotnik in our cap, they've got an Akatsuki here, their other two DDs are out west. That accounts for everything. So, rather than try to chase these guys and maybe get some damage, um, you know, it's just safer to just not play that game. I'm just come up here, see what I can do. I was shooting at the Caesar, and it just worked out where the island cover worked against me, and he got a decent HE volley into me. Honestly, no big deal. At this point, all it does is really just help my adrenaline rush. So I see that this guy's pushing back up, and I'm contemplating, you know, making a torpedo run. What I don't want to do is try to make it around this island. There's just not enough time, not enough room, and the CV starts sending planes this way, and I'm gonna have to do something about it. Akatsuki does have pretty good AA. I go on ahead and I smoke up, and I'm looking to try to click the planes, but they're already had disappeared. This is a mistake. This guy taking a shot at me, even if he had a chance of being unspotted, but he took a shot at me, and you know, now for 20 seconds I get to shoot at him, and he just drops off because of the his smoke firing concealment range. So what I'm doing right here, I know I'm gonna get spotted. I'm baiting this guy to shoot me so I can get another crack at him for 20 seconds. He takes the bait, and I do take a little bit of damage here. But my intent is to cause more damage, and I see that this guy's turning in. My smoke's starting to wear out. So instead, I'm just gonna start dropping torpedoes and just move to an area of safety. I mean, how useful is this? I mean, all those guys have done is made themselves easy targets for the enemy CV. That's literally it. I'm going ahead, I'm clicking the planes as I can. At this tier, any sort of plane kill matters. You know, killing fighters gives your CV an advantage, controlling the air. You know, obviously killing strike planes, that's less planes that can strike your team. So, you know, every plane kill matters. That Caesar gets hit hard, and that tells me he's not going to push up this way, especially with me plane spotted. Everybody knows I'm here. Right now, I'm just trying to help my CV kill planes. I've got okay anti-air. It's not, you know, it's not like a kid or something like that can, you know, actually, you know, get like a clear sky medal or something like that. But I can shoot down planes as long as my light AA doesn't get trashed. And I get lucky, this Arizona gets spotted. And what I'm doing, I'm just launching some predictive torps. That guy knows that I'm here. I'm anticipating that this guy's just going to try to bail out and basically head in this direction. Honestly, this guy, he actually plays it pretty chill. I expect that this guy was actually a semi-competent player. He doesn't want a destroyer on his cap. He basically juked me. He made it look like he was gonna go, and now he's stopping, and he's just gonna sit in cap. So We're gonna reverse, we're gonna think about this a minute, and try, right now all I'm doing, I'm controlling, you know, these chokes right here. I've already got this pretty much sealed off because all the enemy destroyers were accounted for, and nothing has opted to try to push me. See the shots right here? That's telling me the Caesar's right there. So I'm just backing up. I don't want this guy to actually detect me right here with this Arizona looking. So it's no race. I'm just playing patient, waiting for my opportunity, wait for my torpedoes. I see this Boise pushing through the gap, and I throw 2 sets of torpedoes out, and really I'm just trying to deny this area for him. Make him, if he decides to push through here, make him have to do something stupid. And that it looks like that's what's gonna happen. He's coming through the gap. I go on ahead and I smoke up. And there's the Caesar. And just before he dropped off, I'll rewind it a second so you can see, because it's very quick. The Caesar pops up. Now again, the detection icon and the mini map will let you know before anything will render currently. So my torpedoes, originally I was pushing out here, going to smoke up and shoot the Boise. I saw this guy is now my number 1 target. Now watch the indicator for this battleship. I'm going to switch target to him. His indicator, he's bow on, he's somewhere in here, but you're going to see that he shifts his rudder over and he starts turning like this, and you see the indicators start to twist like this. And there it goes, it's turning, and you see me take the lead and torp. This is how you torp very effectively with, you know, minimal sets of torpedoes. He's relatively low health. I don't need a lot of hits to kill that guy. He sees the torps, he knows he's dead. That was him just trying to kill me. He was shooting. He basically put his circle on the last spot that I was detected and shot. And that was the end of him. I get a quick sight picture on the Boise and start shooting. And right here, I'm shooting back. I'm trying to bait this guy into firing. He gets spotted by something. I don't know if it's proxy or not from my friendly destroyer, but eventually he takes the bait and he goes to he actually shoots at me. And by doing this is again another misplay. This guy, if he doesn't have hydro going, he's an easy kill. So I go on ahead, I drop again predictive torpedoes. I could see that the guy was turning to rush my smoke. And he basically just gets cross-torp between me and this kamikaze. I was actually going to rush out and torp him at last minute if those kamikaze torps didn't hit. I'm healthy enough to tank his front guns with no problem. So now I'm going to step on the cap. At this point, we've bled just about everything in here dry. We still have this Arizona. He basically just meandered off, who knows what he did, and eventually realized he's got to come back and defend cap. So as this guy's coming in, I've got an island here that's going to act as a choke point. And I'm watching right now. I'm trying to decide, is this guy going to come on this side of the island, or is he going to go around the back side of the island? And why I'm heading in this direction, I'm trying to get the best angle I can for right angle to torp this guy. This gives me the maximum ability to land torps on this guy. And he's a slow boat. He's basically me reversing. He's probably only got 10 knot closing speed. So now I'm actually detected and my torps are already in his face. My smoke's almost up and he's gonna eat a couple torps, and you know, it's the usual farm central. And honestly, this is more of a standard Japanese destroyer play when your destroyer has smoke. I haven't really stretched the guns out like I have for this build. Again, spotter plane, always focus it. That spotter plane can be spotting any allies that be around back behind these islands. So DD, always try to control the vision for your team. If I killed that spotter plane, that's, you know, a big deal to help my team out. Uh, Honestly, just getting bad fire RNG right here. Everything's shattering, and you know, I'm looking to try to see what exactly I'm hitting, um, because you know it's annoying not to be inflicting damage. This guy, just in frustration, he's just trying to shoot at me. Uh, and that's the kind of the ironic thing, because he's shooting at me. There's a Fuso right here out in the open that's low health he could have killed. Instead, the CV's got to waste his torpedo bombers on that drop to get that kill. So at this point, only the enemy CV's left, and I've made the decision that, you know, the CV was in this vicinity. I'm a fast destroyer. I'm not gonna cap this out. I wanna try go and maximize my damage. So I'm trying to tell the team, don't cap. I'm clicking the planes. And I'm just making a run for cap, for the edge of cap. Now this is kind of dirty pool what I'm doing here. This kamikaze, his gun range, basically the effective range of his ship is less than 10 kilometers. Um, this guy, he's going to have very little chance at actually getting any sort of damage in on this. This is actually a good team play. You know, let your friendlies farm the damage they can. I mean, it sucks you can't get it, but you know, why not help out the guy that's on your team with a better score? You know, they get more credits, more XP, that kind of thing. So, you know, +1 for that guy for stepping off the cap and you know, being a good teammate. You know, that's nice to see that somebody's not going to try to do that. Honestly, would it have mattered that um, you know, he wasn't going to cap it out in the time it took, you know, me and this CV to kill this guy. Um, but it's a nice gesture regardless. So coming up here, you know, Farm City on the CV. Now this surprised me. This plane took off, and I've never actually seen torpedo planes take off and make a direct line of attack. So that caught me by surprise. I expected I had time for one more volley before that torpedo plane would be able to drop. But you know, that was a good drop by that CV, surprising me with how quick that thing came right up on me and dropped. Anyway, looking at the team score, you know, 1600 base XP, 2 kills, 3 plane kills. Uh, Pretty decent battle. Um, the more I play this build, the more I like it with Akatsuki. At least for random builds, I wouldn't do this. I'm complimenting the CVs. Both of these guys had a hell of a game against each other with 20 plane kills, and they both did a lot of work. And it's nice to actually see um, evenly skilled opponents um, for CVs. Um, Total 100,000 damage. Got 2 kills. All in all, just it was a solid game. There was a bit of damage farming in there with the ranger, um, but everything else was pretty legitimate kills and damage dealing opportunities that I took. Um, my team, they were just kind of doing their own thing, and obviously when that happens, your spotting damage is kind of crap. Um, but this is still doing a lot of work at tier 7. So anyway, another Akatsuki replay. Uh, this one's played more like a regular Japanese torpedo boat than anything. And one of my dinosaurs just woke up, so hope you guys like this replay. Um, if you got any questions, comments, leave them below, and I will get to them best I can. I will talk to you guys later.